ICE officers have shot yet another American citizen. And when I say another, I do mean another. This time, the shooting happened in Ontario, California, and the Department of Homeland Security is putting the blame on the very American citizen that got shot. So this is a case that needs to play out in court so we can get more details and know exactly what happened. I want to be clear that we don't know all the details and the claims made by DHS might be proven. But I will also warn you that a lot of the claims that have come from ICE and DHS ended up being complete and utter BS. They, for instance, in Chicago, arrested a local news reporter, claimed that she was throwing rocks at them. Like, what is this, Israel? And after they detained her, violently, by the way, they released her with no charges. So just keep that in mind as you hear what DHS has to say about this incident. So it involves a 25-year-old US citizen and father of 3. His name is Carlos Jimenez. He lives in a mobile home park. His lawyer says that Jimenez was headed to his job at a food bank. Wow, real threat to America, right? He was headed to his job at a food bank on Thursday morning when he saw federal agents basically blocking traffic. Their vehicles were blocking traffic. So they had apparently stopped another vehicle. And the lawyer says that Jimenez approached the officers to basically warn them that children would soon be gathering nearby to take the school bus. So my read of this is that he sees that they're ICE agents. ICE agents, as we've seen in multiple videos, do what they do. Jimenez probably didn't want kids to see that. But let me be clear, ICE doesn't care. They have literally arrested parents as they're dropping their kids off at school. So, and it's clear that they didn't care because he was met with violence. So, according to his attorney, he, meaning Jimenez, was telling them, excuse me, can you guys please, please wrap this up? And immediately the masked agent pulls out a gun and exchanges some words. The agent was also shaking his pepper spray. His lawyer says that's when Jimenez began to maneuver his vehicle to get around and was shot in his back shoulder through the back passenger window. He's in fear and he's trying to get out of the situation. He had to reverse to get away. Now, as you can see from the shattered window in this image, the shooting clearly happened, right? And it was captured by Fox 11 News, so I want to give them credit for that. This is a screenshot from one of their local news reports. Jimenez then allegedly called 911 and went to the hospital where he was later arrested and detained. So the good news is he survived the gunshot. Bad news is he has been arrested and detained. Although, DHS has their own side of the story. We'll see how this plays out. Unsurprisingly, ICE's account of what happened is very different from what we're hearing from Jimenez's lawyer. According to the complaint filed by federal prosecutors, after Jimenez engaged in a verbal altercation with the officers, he pulled forward, turning his wheels, and then rapidly accelerated backward, causing one of the officers at the scene to fear Jimenez would hit him and another car. The ICE officer, fearing for his life, fired defensive shots at the vehicle. The subject fled the scene and abandoned his vehicle. So unfortunately, we don't have any evidence of any of this, right? So we don't have any video of the incident. So the opposing accounts are all we have to go on, right? It's a little bit of a he said, she said situation. And who knows, maybe through an investigation, we'll get some more clarity on what actually happened. But what we do know for sure is that ICE has become increasingly belligerent. There's been a hiring spree over at the Department of Homeland Security. There's been $75 billion in taxpayer money basically allocated for ICE to do mass hiring so Trump can carry out his mass deportation dream. And when you do that, and when you also lower the training standards, which Trump also did, yeah, you're gonna get a bunch of belligerent, untrained ICE agents who are, committing crimes, yes, against undocumented people in a lot of cases, but also American citizens, as Jimenez is. So this is the second Second ICE shooting in Southern California in just a little over a week. 2 shootings in a little over a week in the same location or the same area, Los Angeles, Southern California, I should say. And last week, ICE officers fired at a man in South Los Angeles after agents boxed his car in, according to the LA Times. And in September and October, there were 2 shootings by ICE and Border Patrol into vehicles in Chicago, 1 fatal. And in August, federal agents shot into a car in San Bernardino during an immigration stop. When you talk about government tyranny, having masked agents act this way, not care if there's children involved, get gun happy or trigger happy, I should say, and do what we've been seeing, it's gross, it's wrong. And for those who are supportive of Trump's deportation plans, understand that this is the kind of stuff that turns people against immigration agents, against ICE, against Border Patrol. And the pendulum will swing directly back in the opposite direction. It's always one extreme to another. And that's no way to govern, that's no way to live. But that's the situation that we're dealing with. No one should fear for their lives because they have the audacity to ask ICE agents who are paid by our tax dollars to maybe reconsider carrying out their operations in front of school children. It's about common human decency.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.